Alright guys, it's part 2 of this video. I did just review the footage, and yeah, I took a little long for the creatures because I all the errors that I was making and the mess ups. So if I'm just gonna clarify here. If I say I have one of something, don't start screaming at me in the comment section, because yes, I'm used to saying it. So it's hard, especially in a commander, since you can only have one of anything besides basic lands. Alright, cool? Let's get started. Alright, I'm gonna do the artifacts, spells, and the land, and then I'm gonna show you the sideboard, because I think I will have enough time. Alright, I'm gonna just show the artifacts now. I have 3 or 5 mana producing artifacts. I have the Sol Ring, I have Pristine Talisman from New Phyrexia, and then I have the Dimir, the Sismic, and the Golgari Signets. These things just provide, you know, 2. This thing provides a swamp and a forest. This thing provides a forest and an island. This thing provides a island and a swamp. So, you know, dual colors. This one provides just 1, but he gains a life, which is good for life gain. And Sol Ring, everyone knows what that does. Just a house. Ah, crap. Hang on, I'm gonna have to hold this with my left hand. I still can't get it. Damn nails. Oh, there we go. I have one lightning. I have the lightning greaves. 1 lightning greaves. Everyone knows what. Everyone should know what this thing does. Pretty obvious. He's just like an epic card. I have 1 Oblivion Stone. Came with it. I don't really know why it's in here. I don't really like it because it's slow as hell, but it can clear the board. That's all it can really do. That's all it really has anything for, but it sucks. It's just that bad. I don't like it too much. It's slow, and it takes a while to at least get anything you want, especially like late in the game. By the way, the buzz you're hearing is actually my air conditioner because, well, it's freaking hot here. So, alright, let's keep going. I also have the Contagion Engine. I love this thing. I have about 3 more of these, and I love them. Proliferate, then proliferate again for 4, and you basically kill your opponent's side. Awesome. Alright, oh yeah, the spells. I forgot. I was like, wait a minute. Why haven't I done the spells yet? Reaching for the land. Alright, I have 1 Siphon Flesh. He's just amazing in retrospect. That sacrifice a zombie creature. Each other player sacrifices a creature. You put a 2/2 black zombie creature onto the battlefield for each creature sacrificed in this way. So if I'm playing like against 4 people, I get 3 2/2 zombies for it. So he's all right. I have 1 Siphon Mind. Each other player discards a card. You draw a card for each card discarded in this way. Again, discard. If I'm playing against 4 people, discard 3 cards. I get 3 cards. Sweet. I hate this. You know what? I'm just gonna do the thing I did in the last video. Was just put it down and just explain like this. The 1 Rise from the Grave. He brings back stuff. You know, like Avatar of Woe for cheap. You know, it's better to pay. Oh fuck! It's better to pay 5 than to pay 8 for Avatar of Woe. I have 1 Memory Erosion. He's good for milling stuff. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, includes me as well. If that player puts the top 2 cards from his or her library into his or her graveyard, it basically gets rid of creatures and gets rid of whatever else is sitting on your deck. So it mills through your deck pretty quickly, just to find something. The Fact of Fiction, people must know what this does, especially since it was imprinted onto a creature card. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other pile into your graveyard. I just don't know what to say. If you're playing team and you told your opponent, you better help me out, and you choose him, boom. You know, you could probably just get, you know, you're Buried Alive or, you know, Artisan into the graveyard, or something big into the graveyard, and all of a sudden you can cast Minioplasm that much faster, and that with, you know, with more power. I have Stitched Together, one Stitched Together. Return target creature card from your graveyard. It also has the mechanic Threshold. Instead of putting it into your hand, you return it to the battlefield if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. People must have known this. I think it was back in the Onslaught or some other block. I'm trying to think of the block. It was probably one of the Urza's thing. So yeah, the Threshold's been a old mechanic. They're probably going to bring it back in Innistrad or whatever the new set is. One Mind's Aglow. He's just brutal. Each player draws X amount of cards plus the joined forces. So you know, I could pay 5 mana. One of my teammate could pay like 4 mana, and then they could, you know, my 2 other opponents could pay anything, and you basically draw that amount of cards. So you can mill through your entire deck pretty quick. Yeah. The Vow to Wilderness. You know about the 3 vows. Now, hang on, I'll just find the other 2. There's the Vow of Flight and the Vow of Malice. The 3 vows, basically they power up a creature on your opponent's side or your side. If it's on your opponent's side, they can't attack you. That's pretty cool. Or a planeswalker you control. So if it's on their general or on some massively big creature, they can't attack you, but they can still block. I have the one Grave Pact. He's basically a butcher, except much cheaper. Whenever a creature card you control is put into the graveyard, each other player sacrifices a creature. Awesome. He's a Butcher of Malachar, except way cheaper. Buried Alive. How many times this thing saved my ass? It is so much fun. Search your library for up to 3 creature cards, put them into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Put 3 cards you need, Artisan or Death Shadow or whatever. Artisan into your graveyard. One, like, let's say Runescarred Demon, and then something else. Let's say just something useless. You cast the Minioplasm and you put Artisan as the power-up, and the Runescarred Demon, you have a 16/16 creature that you know, searches out your best card in the deck. How awesome! I mean, I love that. Windfall. Each player discards his or her hand, then draws the cards. Then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded in this way. Awesome. They have now it on Jace's Archivist, which I probably get for him. Spell Crumple. New card. I like it. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered in this way, put it on the bottom of its owner's library instead of that player's graveyard, and do the same thing to Spell Crumple. Cultivate. Everyone should know about this thing. It searches for land. Sign in Blood. Really awesome. Just draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. I'll take that. Shared Trauma. Join forces. Each player puts the X number of cards into his or her graveyard, where X is the total amount of mana paid in this way. Pretty sweet. Mills cards like crazy. And would probably mill anything in my deck. And pretty much, I'm trying to make everything in my deck playable for the Minioplasm. I have now my added cards. I have the Heartbeat of Spring. Whenever a player taps for a land for mana, that player adds 1 more mana of that type to his or her mana pool. It's basically a mana flare, except it's green. And it's awesome. I'm gonna get Mana Reflection, which, you know, doubles or quadruples my mana with this thing. So it really works. Tezzeret's Gambit. I love this card. Draw 2 cards. I can pay 2 life and then proliferate. If I have Minioplasm, it gets another +1/+1 counter. And it draws 2 cards. Parallel Thoughts. I'm not exactly sure which set this card came from, but I added it, and wow, I'm shaking, man. Hang on. For 5, I can search my deck for the 7 best cards, or the 7 cards I need, put them off in a pile, shuffle that pile, and then, you know, shuffle my library. If I were to draw a card, which I have a lot of draw power in here, I could actually draw from that pile. It's like one of the best sleeper cards in my deck. Not many people play Parallel Thoughts. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's amazing. I just need some help finding out what set this is from. It has sort of like a dragon head, or I don't know. Just if you recognize this card, just please message me or just tell me on the comment section. My last card is Liliana Vess, the Planeswalker. Love this as well. She can target player discard a card. If I have artists in my hand, boom, no problem, put it in my graveyard. She's also a demonic tutor as well, except it puts it on top, puts the card on top of your deck, not into your hand, so you get next turn. Her ultimate is amazing. I love it. Put all creature cards in all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. You practically win the game. After that, you cannot lose after you have your entire opponent. If you wipe out your opponent's army very quickly, well, yeah, with the shared trauma and all the other mill cards, and you put them under your control, you win the game. Alright, again, I think I've wasted so much time here. I'll have to put this in the third part. I'm sorry. Bye.